Well, Liverpool were back to their dazzling best at Anfield here tonight. Emphatic 5-0 winners over Watford to ensure they hold on to top spot in the Premier League. And tonight was about a lot more than just picking up those 3 points. I think the massive thing was the belief that I think players and supporters, and probably the manager as well, will take from such a complete performance. Certainly Liverpool's best display of 2019. It's been hard going for this calendar year so far. We've been, people have been bemoaning the lack of fluency, the lack of spark. The goals had dried up somewhat. Of course, there was those two dour stalemates against Bayern Munich and Manchester United, and there was something missing. But tonight, everything clicked again. I thought Liverpool were absolutely immense in all departments. A fourth successive clean sheet, defensively rock solid, midfield, just functioned so much better tonight, and in attack, they just looked, just so much sharper. That the passing was slicker, the movement was more intelligent, and there was that clinical edge in the final third. Watford must be absolutely sick of coming here. That's 3 seasons in a row they've taken absolute pastings, and no fun at all was Ben Foster's assessment of a pretty dour night for Watford, because there was just no let up for them. Liverpool were ruthless and relentless, and those are hallmarks of this Klopp team, and a massive boost and a lift for everyone to see those qualities back in abundance out here tonight. I think for Klopp himself, it was a personal triumph. He took a bit of stick at the weekend. People questioned his team selection against United, and certainly his substitutions he made during the game, which didn't prove particularly effective. But tonight, all the big calls, he got absolutely spot on. It was a big shout playing Sadio Mane through the middle as a number 9 tonight, but what a response from Mane. He was in absolutely inspirational form. Helped himself to a first half double, which effectively killed off the game, and that's now 14 Premier League goals for Sadio Mane, his best ever return at Premier League level. The first one was a really impressive header from a wonderful cross from Trent Alexander-Arnold. A hat-trick of assists for Trent tonight. For him, certainly back with a bang. He would have been disappointed to be rested for that game at Old Trafford, but Trent Alexander-Arnold was absolutely top class tonight. Those deliveries from wide areas, absolute nightmare for defenders. And the first one was on a plate for Mane. The second one was on a plate for him as well. Really, Mane, his first touch was pretty poor, but he more than made up for it with some improvised brilliance with a back heel past Ben Foster. And then after that, it was really a question of how many Liverpool were going to get. They carved out so many chances. They took their time killing off Watford, but Divock Origi, another one who repaid Klopp's faith tonight. A big shout to start him ahead of Sturridge and ahead of Shaqiri, but put in a real tireless shift on that left hand side, and Origi got the third one, cutting inside after latching onto a Robertson pass and hammering inside Foster's near post. So a great moment for Origi. Of course, until tonight, his only league goal this season had been that dramatic winner in the Merseyside derby here in December. James Milner likewise, in terms of big calls by Klopp. Milner getting the nod ahead of Henderson and ahead of Naby Keita tonight, but he was at his absolute energetic best. Real great shift he put in. He set the tone really for that dominant display with the way that he put himself about and really hassled and forced mistakes from the Watford players. So I think you could go through that Liverpool team tonight. There wasn't a single average performance. To a man, they all delivered. Even Alisson Becker didn't have an awful lot to do, but one absolutely stunning save to deny Gray a consolation late on. Showed how much Alisson was desperate to get that 4th consecutive clean sheet. And then the final flourish provided by Virgil van Dijk. I think one criticism of Van Dijk is he doesn't score enough goals for someone who's as good in the air as he is, but he took the first steps towards putting that right. I think his only goals for the club before tonight was, of course, the winner on his debut against Everton here in the FA Cup, and then the one he scored away at Wolves before Christmas. But 2 goals in 3 minutes late on. The first one, again, an absolutely pinpoint cross. That was from a Trent Alexander-Arnold free kick from the right. Van Dijk nods home, and then the other one came in from the other flank. Andy Robertson, Trent getting 3 assists tonight, Robertson getting 2. decent ball in, and Van Dijk nods home, gets a header, gets above Cathcart to provide the finish into the bottom corner, and that was the icing on the cake. And a brilliant night all round for Liverpool. There's been so much talk about pressure and anxiety and handling those nerves. Well, there was certainly no sign of nerves tonight. Of course, there's tougher tests than Watford to come, but that was a real shot in the arm for players and fans. For Liverpool to be back functioning at such a high level, and it means they head for Goodison on Sunday with belief absolutely sky high.